Kannst du schon, aber du musst erstmal noch dran gucken, da reinzukommen. Wir sind noch nicht hier
ihr seid noch nicht zu
mikrofonmäßig
und auch noch nicht zu hören.
Genau. Aber ist das jetzt verrutscht?
Ja, das ist jetzt der Bildschirm von dem YouTube.
Ja.
Da sieht man aber oben, was oben drin schon zu sehen ist. Ja?
Und hinterher kommen zwei.
Ja, kommt hier
alles
was
klar.
anderes. Ja. Dann muss ich umschalten auf den OBS. So.
Sitzen wir denn gut im Bild?
Das rechts wird jetzt schon.
Ja.
Das ist schon
Sitzen wir gut im Bild so? Ist diese.
Nee, achso, das seht ihr jetzt gar nicht.
Nee. Nimm es einfach weg, das andere Ding, du, weil wir. Was sind wir beiden? Genau.
Wir sind ganz so.
Ja, du nicht, ich. Genau, aber unten sind wir unten. Nee, jetzt auch nicht. Doch, unten drin bist du, genau. Das heißt, ich habe nur so eine schöne Jacke an, alles ist rau. Siehst du, das heißt nicht, dass wir nicht ganz wild sind, dass wir einen zurück müssen? Also man sieht dann hinter unserer abgeschnittenen Menschen Wesensteile.
Das ist jetzt die Aufnahme. Das ist das.
Ja, aber nein. Aber man kannst jetzt. Aber
das ist heute etwas breiter. Ich würde sogar eigentlich quasi so lassen. Ich habe nämlich 16:9 nachgestellt. Das füllt mal die ganze Breite. Weißt du das?
Ja, aber unsere Gesichter, die wir jetzt sagen. So.
Nee, du kannst so etwas höher stellen. Nein.
Also wir achten da drauf jetzt, ist das richtig? Und da waren wir Okay. Aber das heißt, wir brauchen das dann ja kaum zu bewegen, wie der Mensch links ist, sondern wir können das nicht so lassen. Ja. Hast du eine kleine Erfahrung, die du da einspielen kannst?
Kleine Erfahrung? Ja, ich habe auch was gesagt, ich schlechte Wasser.
Ja. Würdest du dir uns mitschicken und auch wieder eine Experience erzählen? Und zu Beginn, wenn diese Präsentation auf der Holy Tüte ihr drei Könige macht, dann switchst du auch irgendwie dir als Master auf die Sache. Ja. Jetzt gefällt Rita hat sich gemeldet. Also die sind schon live. Also Albanien wird dran sein. Das ist schon mal dafür so alles. Five minutes. Also ich habe auch noch eine Erfahrung, die würde ich dann wahrscheinlich so gegen den erzählen. Anfassen ist So,
Ich kann auch mal hier über diese Kamera schalten, dass man
wie kriegst du dich jetzt rein, die Kamera vom Laptop? Und das war das Liegen lassen, das stört mich. Und das ist
wesentlich gedämpft, finde ich. Und da ich eigentlich nicht gedacht habe,
also, ganz gefühlt jetzt, dass wir die Familie Europas wachsen.
Das können Sie jetzt noch nicht sagen.
Ja, das ist ja schon in dieser Zeit eigentlich sehr herausfordernd. Siehst du schon, wie viele auch dabei sind? Und so gucken wir alle das guten Livestream, ich sehe euch schon. Was? Eine schon. Jetzt haben wir 19 Uhr, ich glaube, das ist
So, ich schalte euch jetzt auf.
Hello! Ciao! It's so nice to have you all now connected to our live stream, and we give you warm greetings from Carbon. And I'm really happy that Vicky today is joining us here for the live stream. And today she came from Braunschweig, and she's staying here now up to tomorrow, and she came only really to help us to communicate all of this life which you brought us. And so we are really happy to have this chance to stay for those moments together. And I'm happy as well to present you the master of disaster, Mr.
Hello, also from me, from Carmen this evening. And I'm very glad to hear you all here on our live stream. And I try to give you the technique to receive our broadcast. And I hope that we can this way really get one unity, one community, and that God can be among us also over the distance.
Thanks, Father Heinrich, and we know that there is a group now from Albania, and we are really happy to join you because yesterday you came together for the Blues Day from the whole diocese of Shkodra, and today you have another meeting in Fermentin, and I know that the small group, maybe also a bigger one, and also the band crossover is now together in a family team, and that really a big joy that we are connected to you as well with Amela in Austria. Hello to you all. And we know as well Stefan Wacker today, he's celebrating his birthday, he's becoming 25 years old. And so Stefan, if you are really connected to us, all the best and God's blessings for you and for the new year in your life. And then we have some others, we know from Slovenia that there is a small group connected to us. And maybe if you have a chance to send us some information or some ideas or the information that you are really connected to us, we invite you to send it on the number which will be shown now for you. So later on during this mission, we have the chance to give you these briefings. So I think as far as I know, now we have to give our very best, and Jesus can be in our midst, and that we really can understand more and more how He is working in us. And we have one experience, and the first one will be given by Vicky, and it's a personal experience coming out from Vicky.
Yes. Hello, first hello. Yes, I made it realize that a friend of mine lost his father 3 months ago. And it was like very tragic, and we are a group of friends, and we all try to help him and be there for him. And he needed a lot of help in the last time with his knees help, because he fell into kind of depression. But it wasn't easy because we opened our heart, but he was getting more and more angry, and he got angry on us. So his behavior to his friends got worse. And I was afraid that he will split up from our group of friends, and that he will be someday alone. And I was sad because we opened our heart and behaved like this, but I made the step to open my heart even more and to tell him all the feelings of my feelings, and to talk to him. And I think I hope we help our group of friends get more tight and more love, and we are trying to bring a lot of love and expect our friend.
Thanks, Vicky. Being concrete, I think that's always a mystery.
Yeah, it's not easy.
Yeah, it's not easy, but I think that's the mystery of our life, to be really concrete in giving our love one to each other. And we have got now one picture from Albania. So you are really connected to us from Albania. It's a crossover band in Fermentim or in Škodra. Thanks for sending us this picture. And I've got the information from Ilona. She is now connected to us from Tirana and from Amela as well in Austria. And Amela told me as well, Julia in Münster, she is connected to us, that the sound is not very good. We hope it's becoming better. Maybe you can send us down information that it's becoming better. And now there will come one experience directly from Father Heinrich.
Yes, hello. I just want to share one thing. From yesterday to today night to this morning, we had a big celebration in our church. It was the patronal feast of the Eritrean community we have in our parish. And the whole night they were together with with a community over 600 persons in the church, and this was really a very busy feeling everywhere. And I had many worries about if that all would really work, if that really would go well. And there was one moment when I saw that the amplifier in the church was regulated too high, so there was a certain sound that was not good in the church, and I went to the sacristy to diminish to put the switcher down, and then one of the Eritrean boys came and he said, "Oh, I'm so sorry that I did that so high. You told it should not be that way," and he felt a little bit guilty about what he did, but he had done it because he had done a playback into the church, and he had to put up the amplifier, but he had forgotten to switch it back. And so I thought, no, I said, no, it is really no problem that he did that. It was, in the first moment I was a little bit angry because they really can ruin the amplifier, I thought. And but he apologized very quickly, and I thought I was a little bit nerved before, and so in that moment I was very ashamed that I had reacted so strong and severe to this young boy. And it came to my mind, always stay in the love, always stay in the love. And this was, that gave me a certain clear vision on it. And this morning, the celebration should stop at 9:30 because our mass was starting at 11 o'clock. And at 9:30, when I came to the church was still full, and there was someone preaching, and I thought, how will they really get ready with that celebration? But finally, they really did. It managed very well, and I think I should really pay attention not to overreact, and so just keep cool and stay in the love. That was for me a certain experience in these days. Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Heinrich, for this experience, and thanks really for sharing it and for staying in love. And now we try as well to stay in love, because the sound seems to be really bad. When you have been speaking into the computer, it went good, or it went better, but if we are speaking here, it's really like we are speaking into a tube. Okay? So we try to give our very best. Maybe we can take the camera a little bit closer to us, or... Okay, we try to do this. And now there is coming an experience from Michaela from Slovenia. And Michaela, I have to look now into the camera. Michaela, she is really busy tonight because she is taking care of an old woman, and therefore she can't be with us in the live streaming, but she wrote a very, very special experience, and we are happy now to present this experience to you.
Hello. I was in Ireland for 1 week with my friend, who is not religious, but was baptized. She studies history and knows a lot about Christian wars and things like that, but no one told her about faith in God and Jesus when she was little. We were exploring the new country, and it was Sunday. I wanted to go to Holy Mass, and she agreed to go with me. We found a Christian fellowship community on the internet and went there. When we arrived, there was a band singing worship songs, and 2 pastors came to greet us. It was Protestant church and there was no mass. But we decided to stay. I was certain that she will like it, because she loves to sing. We worship with raised hands, we listened to the gospel and listened to the preach. It was so interesting, because this occasion was a big surprise for both of us, not only for her. The pastor was talking about patience, how we should be patient to those who are new in this way of living faith and don't know if they are doing the things wrong. We should be also patient to those who walk this way a long time and might sometimes hardly change opinions or habits. It was like God has spoken directly to us. I really missed communion, but I think this was the best idea to go there. We were full of joy, we talked to the main singer and had some tea. When we were walking home, a strong wind was blowing. My not religious friend said, "May God stop this wind till we come home." I was so surprised she said that, and then we sang some songs for encouraging. I was holding my umbrella in front of us and we were protected from the worst. We came home happy and grateful.
Thanks a lot to Michaela and to Vicky, because you presented now this experience, and so we are connected as well to Ireland, and we have got short information from Femin team in Shkodra. So it's nice that you are still joining us. It's Sister Rita, Emmy and another guy. So thanks for being connected to us now. And now we jump from Slovenia, from Ljubljana, where Michaela now is living or studying. We jump now from Slovenia to Graz. It's really close, you know, because Austria and Slovenia are some neighbored countries. And I'm really happy now to present the experience of Amela. Amela, thanks you for sharing this very, very special and deep experience. Amela is writing, "Dear Go for Peace friends, I was very glad when I heard about the next live stream because I wanted to share an experience with you. This month, dear friends, was full of challenges and steps to be made in my life. I've been preparing for so long to write a very important exam in my university. I calculated the time that I needed to have for my preparation and all the materials that I needed. Every day I went to study at the university's library for many hours. After the preparation, I got to write the exam, but unfortunately I didn't make it. I was very disappointed with myself, I was sad, and I didn't know what went wrong, since I thought, in my opinion, I had done all the right things. This was very, very difficult for me. But still I remembered the monthly motto that is, God is greater. And I slowly began to gain the energy and strength to move forward and to do the next steps. Sometimes things go not as we expect, and sometimes we are not as lucky as we want. But for me, it's very important to find the courage and believe in God and have faith that everything is going to be all right. God knows us better than anybody else, and He is by our side. Everything else comes and goes, but God is always there because He is great. I mean, I will repeat the last sentence because it's so important. God knows us better than anybody else, and He is by our side. Everything else comes and goes, but God is always there because He is great. Amela from Graz. Thanks a lot for sharing this really important experience. And I know it was so difficult for you to accept that you failed this exam, and then really to go on and to enter more and more into this believing and into this faith that God is greater and that He is loving us. That really it's a really challenging experience, but a very, very good one for us all. Thanks a lot. Vicky, you spoke about your friend who lost his father.
Yeah.
And therefore, I think we really can promise him to live for him and to pray for him. And that's so important for us that we know the intentions from each other, really to take them into our prayers and to try to bring them in front of God. Because He is the Lord of our life, and if we are connected one to another, and if we try to pray one for another, I think it's so important to find the connection also on this spiritual level. So we can promise him, maybe you can give us his name.
Ivan.
Ivan.
His name is Ivan, yes.
So we have to take Ivan now into our prayers, and if you have some other intentions, prayer intentions, please write them via SMS or via WhatsApp to us, so that we are really, that we can take them and we would offer them here in the live streaming, and during the next days we would pray in these intentions for those people. Then we are going on and we can present the next experience for you. It's coming from Aleš in Slovenia, and he wrote down his experience concerning the camp we did last year in Albania. And Vicky is going now to read the experience of Aleš.
My name is Aleš Straja. I am 20 years old and I haven't been traveling much my life. Attending the camp Go for Peace was therefore something entirely new to me. I've decided for it because it was a great opportunity for me to get to know some foreign places and due to curiosity. I've been thrown in a foreign place filled with unknown people. I didn't even know the Slovenian team well. It soon became clear to me that I was not prepared for an experience of such kind. As a result, I started feeling really down and didn't know how to fit in. There was no place for me there in the beginning, but then I found the Rocks, a place at the Peace Village. There were some rocks in the corner of the village with a nice overview of the city during the day and a clear spot for looking at the sky during the night. I took that place and made it my thinking spot. I kept going back there whenever I felt lonely to think about deep questions that were boiling inside me and were not given attention to back at my home because of the constant rushing and racket. That was the first thing that I got from the camp. I learned to settle down in peace and to think, to reflect, to be alone and not feel lonely. Then I engaged a conversation with a person from the Slovenian team. We kind of matched and I found myself a new friend. I took the person to the rocks and we continued the thinking together. It was very productive. Then the first 2 days passed and there were workshops on the schedule. That was the second thing I got from the camp. I learned that I function really well when being put in a group that has the same goal. I fit right in, made myself a bunch of new friends, and we were having a blast. The third thing that the camp gave me was a realization that the most interesting things in our lives aren't of technical nature like computers or phones. They are of biological nature. They are plants, animals, and of course, people. There were some tortoises at the village and they sure made some good memories as they were running up and down making funny noises. Also, we got to eat figs from the tree itself. I've never done that before. And most importantly, whenever I got to know another person beyond the chit-chat that, as they really opened to me, I got to hear some of the most interesting stories in my life. And not only stories, also practical advices, suggestions, and never starting points for my thinking and new starting points for my thinking sessions. I must say that we, in our daily lives, do not appreciate each other enough. We are too busy rushing ahead with our own lives, making money, looking good and being respected, that we forget to tell others that they look good and that we respect their efforts. We lack true peace among each other, and that is what this camp was all about, teaching us to spread the peace.
Thanks a lot to Aleš from Slovenia, and thanks a lot for all those who are reacting now. Thanks, because Amela told us that the sound is now really better, and that I think you really can understand us now. And I think it's so good really to know about the way of appreciating each other. And I have the joy now to present you one experience from Yolanda Deister. She's coming from Weinheim. It's a small town here in Germany, 18 years old. She did her maturity last year, and she's on the other side of the world, you know. And now she wrote us, after I finished my high school last summer, I decided to spend one social year in a little town on the Philippines in Tagaytay. Here I live together with 14 other girls from 11 different countries. Altogether we live the gospel, and we live for the mutual love and a united world. This kind of being together helps me to get closer to God and to listen more to Him, for example, through the gospel. So I connect many beautiful experiences with living His word in my daily life, which I want to share now with you. So that the seed of God's love will grow and spread. My experience is based on the word, what we tried to live in a special way last August. Take away my sorrows. Based on the Psalm 45.24. It seems as God chose this word only for me, as I would start soon in the biggest adventure of my whole life. Of course, I was full of joy and sure that this year will be a joyful and unique experience. But there were also some sorrows, like how would it be to live together with so many different cultures? So this offer and great promise helped me to entrust me fully in the immense love of God. That He will turn everything, even all my sorrows and difficulties, into the best for all, into a great gift for us all. And during my time, I experienced really often that God is taking care of everything, and that He is still hearing my prayers and my sorrows as well. My first experience, which I want to share now, was together with the other Gen. It's a short form for New Generation, a group from the Focolare movement. It was during a big updating about the actions and events of this Focolare movement. Mostly about the Gen Fest in 2018 in Manila, where we have the chance to build up a united world in which we are one big family. I hope you all will come and we can meet us here, because we need and count on you to be able to realize this goal of a united world. This day it was my turn to cook, so I prepared a delicious curry late in the evening before. On the day of the updating, I woke up early in order to heat the food again and to arrange it into the lunch boxes. At dinner time, we discovered that the food was spoiled. Everybody was tired, was hungry. Even the weather was crying with us. And we were surrounded by eating people. In this moment, we were still praying to God for a repetition of the miracle when 2 breads and 5 fishes were enough to nourish thousands of people. When our neighbors realized that we were without food, they started to offer us their food. One woman, she was consecrated to Jesus, she invited us to have a dinner in their house, which is near to the big hall where the meeting was. They opened their heart and they opened their food storage for us. They prepared many different dishes and the caterer brought the leftovers from the dinner. At the end, we had a delicious dinner in a great atmosphere. It was much better and nicer than if we had our curry among us. This experience also showed me that we are really one big family. Do you still have capacity for another experience? No, you have to answer yes. Here we go. I really love to play violin, you know, like this, because it helps me to express and to clear my emotions. Since I came here, I had some problems with stuck tuner and ripped strings, so I couldn't really enjoy the playing. I was really unsure who could help me with my violin. During one of our sharings, I shared this small concern with my sisters in my house. One of them told me that one of the priest seminarists with whom we meet twice a week for some lessons about our faith and our way of living, that he plays violin as well and that he can help me with my violin. Through our sharing love for playing violin, we developed a relationship. He became like an elder brother to me. God not only helped me with my violin, he also gave me a new companion for my journey with him. So we really can entrust everything to God and his immensely love for us. That's the experience of Yolanda Deister from the Philippines, and she promised me today via mail that tomorrow she is going to look to this live stream, and then for the first time I think the streaming will also be seen on the Philippines on the other side of the world. Thanks a lot, Yolanda, for this sharing, and we wish you the very best now for the Holy Week. I know that your family is coming to visit you on the Philippines, and have a good and have a great time on the Philippines, and give our regards and our greetings to the whole village of Tagaytay. We are really connected to you, and we try to live for the Gen Fest in Manila, that it will become a very big event and a very, very good expression of being one family, of being sister and brother all over the world. Okay, so do you have more expressions or ideas? So the idea now is we want now to share this monthly letter, God is Greater. Amila, you spoke in your experience about this experience that God is really greater and that we have to trust him. Vicky and me, we are going now to read this letter to remember for the last days of March to believe in him and to trust him, so that we really can live this Holy Week and the Easter time in this special way of believing in his greater love. Dear friends of the Word, its often tangible experience through with God gives us a glimpse of his mystery. I remember meeting a young woman. She was having a really hard time. She was from a poor background and she was highly talented. From a young age, she'd led an interesting life, and yet she often felt sad. She had ambitious goals and she wanted to achieve those by herself. In this process, as friendships broke down, she had become really lonely. Hidden pride rebuffed many people close to her. What was left were tears, tears of despair, loneliness, and disappointment in herself.
I am at breaking point. I keep doing this things I don't want to do. I hurt people and push them away. Somehow no one can live with me, and I can't live with them. I looked into her tearful face, and again she said, I'm at breaking point.
I am not judging you, I told her after a really difficult part of her story. Why not? She asked, a little astonished. I don't deserve something staying close to me. In the subsequent conversation, a space was created into which she could say and cry everything. She was able to breathe again. Her eyes lit up, full of gratitude. I will always remember those moments. God has touched and healed her.
Dear friends of the world, if our hearts condemn us, we know that God is greater than our hearts and He knows everything. This is a comforting thought, isn't it? When we don't feel comfortable in our skin, when we don't like ourselves any longer, then God, who is greater, is present and He knows everything. This belief creates new living space, especially when we are at breaking point. Keep saying to yourself, God is greater. Say it again.
God is greater.
Then you will grow under His loving eyes.
So I want to share one experience with you concerning also this motto, God is greater. Because during the last days, on Friday and Saturday, I have been in a small town called Rüdesheim. It's close to the Rhine. And there are living some Indian sisters. And year by year I'm going there to give them a spiritual retreat. So I went there. And there are 6 up to 8 young Indian sisters, full of power, full of energy. And when we are together, we are laughing a lot. And we are really entering into the heart of God. Because we love each other. And we feel how we try to give our life for a lot of people all over Germany and all over the world. And the principal sister, Sister Anila, she asked me, Meinhof, can we go to visit one priest who is still living in a monastery close to their hospital where they are working and living? I told her, of course, we have to go there. So we went there. And the name of this priest we tried to visit is Father Rainer. And you have to understand, 17 years ago, he was in a very, very big car accident. And since this time, he's really wounded. And we entered into his room, and he was lying there on his bed. And he was looking out of really very, very funny and lucky eyes. But it's very, very, very difficult for him to move himself because of his health. And then we started to build up the bridge in between of us. And then I asked him, and Pater Rainer, can you speak about your experience? And then he told me, 17 years ago, I was in Italy, I was close to Firenze in Lopiano, and we have been called with a little bus full of priests to Rome, and then we have gone back, and when we came back, suddenly this accident started to come out. And then in the moment when he saw that this bus would break down, in his heart, he felt one word of God. He felt, if you need me, let them go. If you need me, Jesus, let them go. And so then the accident crash was really very, very heavy. But all the other priests, I think 12 or 13 of other priests sitting in the bus, they are really in good health. And there was nothing bad for them. Concerning him, he was wounded here at his back and he couldn't move himself. So he was brought to a hospital, first in Italy, later on in Germany, and he was there for 17 months in the hospital. And the first 4 months, he couldn't move himself. He couldn't move his arms. And one other priest told him, you always have to look onto your big finger at the feet, and if you can move him, then it will become better. After 4 months, he started really to move his big finger, and more it came back to him. But up to today, moment by moment, he has a lot of pain, and there is no painless moment. But looking into his eyes, he was so happy, and he told me, my love, I know that Jesus was in this accident, and he offered me this accident, and therefore I understood the sense of this accident. And there was no moment in which I really have been full of doubts. It was always clear for me, you can live this moment and like a really personal love towards Jesus. And I really remember, I'm still remembering his eyes. He was full of light, full of joy, lying there, and we became really friends from one to the other moment. And then he asked me what we are doing. I spoke about Albania, I spoke about Bosnia, I spoke about Poland, I spoke about the camp we are going to do now. And he told me, I understand you are really going on with all those young people, and I will pray for you all. And Artemida, I spoke about the baptism of you, maybe in the camp in Poland. He is still praying for you. He's praying for you in Famine Team, because he told me it's so nice, because he told me when I was speaking, he understood more and more that God is going to renew his church and to give a new figure to his church. Not the figure of being baptized into the church, running to the church, but then going on your own ways. He understood more and more that the church is renewed by God. And he told me, I will pray for it. And I understood in this moment, Pater Rainer, he felt the really big love of God in this accident. That was a phenomenon. And he told me, the only thing which will be really at the end of our life lasting forever, the only thing is our love towards Jesus, our friendship, our relationship to Jesus. And I have the chance to give day by day my pain, my prayers always for Jesus. And also my prayers for all the different people I know. And I felt Jesus in our midst. I felt how he really was close to us, and how he encouraged us to believe that God is greater and that we can give our life for him, because at the end only this love will last forever. And I was so happy when I've come back yesterday and I visited one Bosnian family close to Frankfurt, and also greetings from Bosnia, from that family to us, and they are also connected to us. And I spoke about this experience with Pater Rainer, and they immediately started to speak about nearly the same experience in the mountains of Bosnia with the young guy. And we entered into very deep conversation, and we tried to give what we can give by believing that God is greater and that he is offering his love day by day. So that was this special experience, and now I have to look onto the mobile. Ah, Simon Bia from the Kosovo. It's really fine. So we have got as well information or a message from Kosovo. I'm going to read it. No, Vicky, you have to read it here because I spoke long enough.
Yes.
Okay.
Greetings. Thank you so much for this live stream. You are helping us a lot to keep the light on and carry on forward. So, I wanted to share an experience of mine. The last couple of months have been like a roller coaster for me. I had applied for a master's degree at the university in Munich, and I was really excited that I was gonna get in. However, in February, they notified me that they had rejected me because I didn't meet the entrance criteria. I was deeply disappointed with that news and didn't know what to do. However, I decided not to give up, wrote a letter to the university to reconsider my application. I asked a lot of people online about the steps that I should take, and the vast majority of them discouraged me to do that because they said I had less than 1% chance to get a positive response, especially from the University of Munich, considering its reputation. Nevertheless, I wanted to try it, and ultimately I did it. I wrote a reconsideration letter to them. The university officials wrote back to me and asked for extra papers. I sent them and went through an interview. A couple of days later, I received the admission letter from them. What seemed impossible happened. They admitted me, even though people around me discouraged me to try harder. As I'm checking for accommodation now, I wanted to say to everyone not to give up on what you want to do. I truly believe that if it wasn't for God and the strength He gave to me, I wouldn't be able to make it. Hence, let's open up our hearts to God and let's seek His help. Sending you the warmest greetings from Kosovo, Simon. Thank you, Simon.
Wow, that's really fine, Simon. Thanks for sharing. So, congratulations. Welcome in Germany.
Yes.
Concrete.
It's really concrete that God is greater, and thanks really that you wrote it down during the live streaming, because that's a big job to do it. I think we can change now shortly to Father Heinrich, because you have got some information there.
Yes, just a moment. Yes, we have some informations concerning here the live stream. We have greetings from Skoda, from Ricardo Hashari. Thanks for the live stream. It's always nice to see you. And then a smiley. As it's very, yes, thank you for the greetings, Ricardo. Very nice to have you here. And also Isabella Marcu, greetings from Skodra. Thank you for sharing with us. Very nice. And also Andrzej Zaniewski, greetings from Koszalin. We are watching together.
Wow.
Hey, that's very great. That's really strong. Very good thing, a very good thing to start the new camp in Koszalin, and we are really happy to be with you together this evening. And so the others we had already, Amela also, and Simon all wrote on it. And now we have also some greetings from Ilona from Tirana. So it's, we are really international. It's really amazing.
So here are coming back two amazing people. So we are coming more and more now to the end, and we want to really to remember that this year we are going to meet us in Poland. And it's so nice, the Polish group Father Andrzej, Mateusz and Paulina and all the others, they are really working hard, one for another, and they are really working hard for us. Concerning the financial level, they did a lot. Concerning the TV, they really visited the first Polish TV in Warschau, and they really tried to engage them, and they are going to come and to accompany us during the camp. Then they have a lot of letters got from different authorities. And so it's really nice what you are doing there. Thanks for your engagement, and thanks for really fighting for Europe and for this experience. And we are so happy.
Dziękujemy in Polish.
You know, dziękujemy in Polish.
Yeah.
And okay, and there are going to come, I think, about 15 up to 16 people from Albania. We hope that a small group from the Kosovo is going to come. Then we know from Slovenia there are some of you coming. We pray for Iceland. There is one girl with some Polish roots. She's thinking about her participation on the camp. Then concerning Bosnia, there are going to come some people from Germany. But we need more people. Up to now, I think we have about 35 registrations, and we need more. We have to come up to 100, up to 110 participants. So if you really have more others, try to encourage them to come. Try really to give your very best to speak about the camp, to speak about our way of living for Europe, so that they really feel the taste in their mouths. We have to bit into this experience. You have to give your very best really to try to encourage them. And we are looking forward to get some more registrations. And if you who are connected to us now didn't fulfill up to now the registration form, please do it. It's a big help for us all really to build up this camp. Then we have one information concerning the Onward app.
Yes, we are very happy and thankful to tell you that app Onward is available in like every language of the world and for every device. So even those with an iOS device, you can use the Onward app now daily. And yeah, and if you know someone who knows someone who knows someone who comes from Norwegia, we would be happy if we find a Norwegian translator. Yes.
And we are really happy to announce you that there are coming 6 people from Norwegia up to now. They filled up the registration form, so that we are sure that they are coming. But we need somebody who can bring the fire via app to some other people in Norwegia. Then we switch to Father Heinrich for YouTube information, because month by month
yes, month by month we are really doing a new video. Maybe you have already watched our videos on the YouTube channel Pieces for Peace, and you can also expect a new video. Today we have finished the words to get the camera works, and now we are expecting the final cut for it, and you can expect it on the 1st of April. It will appear and will be released on the same channel, Pieces for Peace. So it contains always the monthly impulse that we get also on the app, but it is it's a different way to spread the gospel, to use the video technique. So please watch us.
And you know, the 1st of April is going to be Easter Sunday. So if you take an egg into your hand and if you cut the head, remember the small YouTube and look at it. So we are connected to this Easter experience. And then I want to speak shortly about the experience the group in Albania is going to do. It's so nice because Saturday by Saturday they are going to Fermenteam. I know about Elona, Pavlin, Emmy, Artemida, maybe some others of you, but I know that you are going Saturday by Saturday really to offer your help to the children of Fermenteam. And it's really such a big witness after this camp that you took the message of going for peace and that you are still going on with these matches. Thanks for this witness, and we have the dream that once you can do, maybe with the help of Rudolf, a small YouTube, and you could send this YouTube to us, so that we really see what's going on there and how God is working, and you are the instruments in His hands. And we are really happy that the little music group, the band called Crossover, which has been founded there in Albania, passed during this weekend some events on the stage. And you did a very good music. I've got one piece on YouTube via WhatsApp. Thanks for it. And we are so happy that some of you will join us in Poland. And the question now to the group in Poland: could we take some of the musicians of Albania and put them into the band which you have in Koszalin? That would be so good. Then this band would become more international. And maybe tomorrow or over tomorrow we can offer you the instruments which are going to be played by those coming from Albania, so that you in Poland could think about it to build up this international band. And there is also a little dance group in Fermenteam, and you are still preparing this dance. And we would be very, very, very happy if you could bring the flash mob with you, so that we could also offer this flash mob in Koszalin to all those who are coming for our final event there. So we count on you in Albania concerning Crossover, concerning the dance group, and concerning the flash mob. And now there is one information from Vicky.
Yeah, there's a retreat organized by Meinolf and
Martin
at the Gut Neuhof from the 3rd to the 7th of April in 2018, so now very close. And there are 2 more places to be filled by someone who has the time and would like to share their experience with the whole group.
From Emmy.
Oh, there are greetings from Emmy. Amelia, she writes, Albania is waiting for Poland, preparing our list. So she seems to be very excited and sends greetings to Poland.
Okay, so we are really at the end of our live streaming, and it was a joy for us to be here in our little studio and really to join you. Thanks a lot to Father Heinrich, because he is always doing this big job with the technique. Thanks for Vicky for joining us here and for helping us to transmit all those experiences.
It was a great pleasure.
Yeah. And thanks for you all, because it's a joy always to feel us connected in this time. Because in this time, a lot of people are falling back in old pictures. A lot of people are thinking only concerning their own nations. And it's understandable, because the time is really more difficult. But I think the dream of Jesus was another one, because he prayed for unity. Some hours before of his death, he really prayed, Father, let them become one, like you in me and I in you. And so that's the idea of being brother and sister, to follow Jesus and to give him our friendship. And so I'm really, really happy to meet yesterday Father Rainer, and to see this joy in his eyes, because he was transforming moment by moment. He was giving his pain, he was giving his ear, he was giving his prayers moment by moment to Jesus, and you saw this friendship to him in his eyes. So let's take the Holy Week now. We are going to live in Poland, in Albania, in Kosovo, in Slovenia, in Austria, here in Germany. We are going to live it all over the world. Let's take this Holy Week and to try to show Jesus our love, and to be really concrete, to give what we can give, that this love can fulfill more and more our hearts. I think then we are the witnesses Jesus is going to need during this time in this world. And we count on you. And do you have some words, Vicky? Okay, do you know? We have to change to Heinrich.
Just a moment, just a moment.
By the time, I'm sending much love to all who are watching from the last Go for Peace camp. I'm thinking a lot of you still, guys, every day. You are in my heart, and I miss the kids in Albania, and much love from Germany to you.
Yes, now I have still some greetings here. We have greetings from Albert Leknikai. Oh, that's very nice. Hello, Albert. Nice to meet you here. And this is very good. And we have greetings also from Niklas. Niklas is one young guy from our community in Dortmund. And he asked, may I also write in German, or is it better when I write it in English?
Yes, he can write in German, but only if he really decides to come with us to Poland.
Yes. Okay. I think you have heard it. Yes. But Niklas is only 13 years old. So it must take some years for him to join us. But it's very nice to have you here, Niklas.
Okay, I think then we wish you the very best now for the Holy Week. God's blessing to all your parishes, to your communities, to your groups, to your families. And let's show Jesus really our love, and let's give what we can give, so that this love more and more can transform this world, and that we are giving our part to build up this mankind, this family of mankind. And we are so happy to be on the way with you together, and we keep you in our mind and you in our prayers. And have a nice evening, and we are connected.
Yes.
Ich geh mal hoch, sonst bist du immer noch drin. Okay, super. Echt gut, du.
Ja?
Gut.
War ganz schön viel, ne? Den ganzen Text.
Das war echt viel.
Ja, das ist viel, aber man merkt, da ist auch viel zu sagen. Ne?
Also mittlerweile beteiligt sich doch mancher.
Ja.
So.
Wir hatten jetzt 16 Leute, die
16 Punkte.
Nee, also Teilnehmer. Hier zuletzt 16.
Aber in Albanien waren ja mehrere zusammen.
Ja.
Punkte einfach.
Ja.
Das sind 16 Geräte.
Und einmal 18. Der höchste Stand war 18.
Immerhin.
Leute eingewählt.
Ja.
Aber die da mit mehreren Leuten gucken, da kannst du also mindestens mal 5 rechnen.
Ja.
Wenn nicht sogar noch mehr, ja.
Kommst du so
Ich
an?
hatte mich sehr gefreut, dass er hier in Koschalin heute
Ja.
Abend war. Ne? Das war
Oh,
gut.
die wachsen echt, du. Das ist
Ja,
so schön zu
gut,
sehen.
dass sie mal merken, wie gut das ist. Ne?
Ja. Ja, und die merken einfach, dass wir mit denen leben. So. Ich versuche so viele Botschaften immer zu schicken, dem Matthäus immer wieder so eine Voicemail hier zu schicken und so, dass die reinkommen. Die sind das gar nicht gewohnt, Europa.
Ja.
Das ist nur, also der Horizont ist kleiner und langsam weitet er sich so. Ne? Und das ist schön. Ja. Ja, echt. Ja. Auch Andrzej, der wird jetzt, also da bin ich gerade in Auschwitz wieder mit der Hauptschule, wenn der hier noch wahrscheinlich vorbeikommt.